welcome back. This is episode lucky number 13 of the Foresight Micro Vlogcast. Brian Haverding here, joined to my left by Mike Troupis.
Greetings.
Mike, I want to put you on the spot here.
Great.
And ask you a couple questions as it relates to overall sustainability and sort of how organizations are pursuing their sustainability goals. So oftentimes I see written on companies' websites like, our goal is a 50% reduction in carbon by 2025 or 2030. What do you see as maybe what have you seen as like the lowest hanging fruit way to get there, and maybe what's a blind spot for people as they set these goals?
Yeah, maybe that's great. And even far too often I see people set those goals without actually having a plan to accomplish them, which is good and bad. I think we've done that a lot of times in our society. We wanted to go put a man on the moon without really having a plan to do it. We still did it. So I like aspirational goals, but there's still a lot there of like trying to figure out. So I think the lowest hanging fruit when it comes to carbon reduction emissions is efficiency. The greenest kilowatt hour is the kilowatt hour you don't use. The greenest MCF of gas is the MCF of gas that you don't use. So focusing on efficiency, some low-hanging fruit pieces would be make sure your lighting is efficient as possible. If you're a manufacturer, make sure your compressed air is tight and that you understand what's going on with that system. Just general like commercial buildings, I would say, understand your HVAC system.
Sure.
So much energy goes into heating and cooling and controls. So that would be where I would start if you're really trying to achieve a goal like that. I think a lot of times the blind spot could be around renewables. And there's a lot of options for purchasing renewables. And some companies think, well, I can't afford to put solar panels on my roof, so I'm kind of out of luck. Well, there's a lot of other things that you can do around renewables and credits and offsets. And so I think that a lot of times can be a blind spot for organizations. Yeah. They might get hyper-focused on one thing when they may not realize there's a lot of opportunities out there. So I just encourage people to dig in a little bit more on first being efficient in your building, but then understanding what are all of the options associated with renewables and renewable energy. Any other
sort of a follow-up
on that?
Like, oftentimes dates are set, like in the future, like 2030 or 2025 or whatever. Like, what's a reasonable time frame for people to be like doing maybe the low-hanging fruit thing in?
Much faster than that. So I love that. And that's what I find far too often is if you're setting a goal for 2030, it's just too far out. If you really want to start implementing change, set more, like interim goals and things like that. So I would say implementing efficiency is something that most organizations not only could, but should do immediately. The return on investment for a lot of the things that we discussed can be under 2 years, which a lot of organizations want to see a 2-year return on their investment or faster. So I would say there's no reason to wait on any of that stuff.
Good, cool. That was episode 13. See you later, alligator.
I have to not play with my wedding ring during the video.
That's a big one.
It's the one thing I try not to do. That's why it's nice to have a glass to hold.
That's why.
Because then you're not playing with that pen is good too, because otherwise I'll just sit here and twist my wedding ring.